Hello children. So shall we continue? No men are foreign. Yes. So first two stanzas we have completed in the last module, that is module 1, where we have come to know that no men are strange and no country is foreign. Men are nothing but the people, the humankind. Yes, everybody is a human being. Then why to have the discrimination? Then no country is foreign, because no country is unfamiliar, because country is nothing but it's a land. Land is part of earth only. It's a piece of earth only. Then why to have the discriminations? If at all we have these discriminations, what would happen? One, like always, it will lead to the destruction. Finally, destruction, loss, heavy loss of property, human being, what not. Because already we have seen World War I, World War II, the consequences. The bomb blast and Hiroshima and Nagasaki we have already learnt about, isn't it children? So it only does definitely lead to the destruction. That's what they say. Ultimately, one has to take final rest only in the land. Why to have all discriminations? Even I am enjoying the sunlight, air and water, and the one who resides in any of the other parts of the world also would enjoy the same thing. And why is the discrimination? Is he not my brother? Is she not my sister? Because all of us are the children of the Supreme. That is the nature of the God, whatever the way you call it as. And though we may dress up differently, but beneath the dress, under the dress, the body which breathes is same, because we are all human beings. Shall we continue, children? Yes. So please get ready with your books and also running notes. Third stanza. Page number 8. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. As simple as the way James Kirkup is telling us that we are all one. We are not different, we are all one. Because they say that. However, each one of us is gifted with the eyes, and we use eyes for what? To see. And then when we are in like working status, when we are awake, we open our eyes. When we sleep, we close our eyes. So all the people around the world would do the same thing. It's not that only Indians, they close their eyes while they sleep, but the people, the Americans, they keep like their eyes wide open while they sleep. Is it not sounding to be so funny? Nobody can do that. Because we are all human beings, and of course the whole mechanism of the body is same everywhere. So in third stanza, James Kirkup is trying to tell us that let us try to understand the human being. We are all human beings. We are not people of different countries. We are not people of different regions, but we are all human beings. However, we have the eyes, the same thing. However, we use the eyes the same way even others use it. And also he says that, and strength that can be won by love. Of course, as I said, the main cause to have the quarrel or the dispute or the fight or the war, I'm just giving you according to the intensity. First it starts with a simple argument which leads to quarrel. Then it goes beyond that. Then it becomes what? Dispute. Then fight. Sometimes you see the physical fight also, where you see the shoulder power is being shown. Finally, war, dividing into two, and you will have even have your own strength of people to support you in your defense. So why is this happening, and how to stop this? Because the main reason to have all these things is hatred, as already we have learned. So to avoid that, one must develop what? One must develop the love. So he says that all the strength what others possess can easily be won with the help of the love. For example, if somebody hates you, and if you don't reciprocate the same way to him, and you try to behave lovable to other person, of course you will see a drastic positive change in the other person. He would of course calm down, and he would feel guilty, of course. He would feel ashamed of himself the way he behaved with you. Like how Gandhiji used to say, if somebody slaps on our one of the cheeks, then immediately our job is to show the other cheek. But one must have the guts to do that. When you really do that, the one who had slapped you would of course feel guilty that why did I do this wrong, silly act. He would feel sorry. He would never slap for the second time. He would never slap. So that's what he means to say. And strength that can be won by love. So the simple success mantra, we call it, no? The simple technique is to spread love among the brotherlyhood, to completely eradicate, arrest the hatred, the spread of hatred. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. And if the simple word love is understood by the people of all the countries around the world, then you won't see any of the wars and any of the fights around. So that's what he says, that all can recognize and understand. If the people start recognizing and understanding that there is something called love, if we start spreading and if we start applying that lovable nature and approach with the people around the world, you will only see the prosperity around. You will definitely see the serenity and peaceful environment, having no wars and no different thinking. Let's move to fourth stanza. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. So now they are saying that, fine, till 3 stanzas they said that all of us are one and we are not different, we are all one, everything is being taught. But sometimes, it is not that we have the feeling, like, let me give you the example of the same instance of childhood of Abdul Kalam. The teacher tried to make children aware of the discriminations, telling that APJ Abdul Kalam must sit in the last bench, because he says that as being the Muslim, he should not be seated with the Hindu Brahmin boy. Then he was the one to inject the wrong sense into the children's minds. Am I right, children's? So he was injecting. But as Abdul Kalam and even his friend also, they were having no differences any time. What did they do? Immediately they complained to their parents. But here sometimes what happens, children, some people are easily influential by others. When somebody else tells us, like for example, you are sitting in a class and you are grouped, like 3 or 4 groups your class is divided into, and you feel that you are one group and you don't want to mingle with others. And if somebody from the other group would like to extend their friendship like with one of your group mates, and then you try to influence the one saying that no, please better not accept the friendship of that boy, he belongs to the other group and he's like that or she's like that, why to have it and all. If the one who is very weak, having no self-esteem and no assertive nature, then she or he would accept your suggestion, thinking that yes, what my friend says is right, maybe what my group mate says is right, and better not to accept his or her friendship. They immediately conclude. Even that is quite common, because peer group influence will definitely be there on the children, of course, and even in the society people also. Whatever our neighbors say, like whatever our friends say to us, sometimes we believe and we accept easily. So here in 4th stanza he says that let us remember, whenever we are told, in the sense whenever we are instructed, whenever we are told to do something, to hate our brothers. Because first thing is, you will need to understand that the people of different regions or different places or different religions or caste or race or different countries are our own brothers and sisters. But when somebody is asking you to hate them, it does mean that. It means that we ourselves are dispossessed. Dispossessed is nothing but deprave. In the sense we are taking away, we are moving away from our own brothers and sisters. We betray. Betray is nothing but to cheat, self-cheating. We are cheating ourselves. When somebody is asking you to not to love, that is, hate your own brothers and sisters, and when you accept doing that, it does mean that, what is that? You are moving away from them. Not only that, you are also cheating yourself, and you need to condemn that. You need to protest that it is a wrong act being done by you as you are forced to do it. The one who is telling you might be your own close one, or mother or father or your teacher, but one must have the sense, inner sense. So here he says that if at all somebody tells you to do any wrong act, do not immediately accept. Think wise. So when it comes to the discrimination, when somebody is advising you to hate, no, come on, India, Pakistan, they never can be friends. And so like Indo-Pak cricket match goes on, why don't you watch it as a sport? Why do you only rate them based on their own region and country? No, India must win. No, Pakistan only must win. Why don't you treat it as only a sport? Let the right one win. Because that has been injected from the very beginning. Now, can you ever expect that China and America can be alliance? Always they point out each other. Because they never think that they are brothers and sisters any time. So that is what would definitely lead to the wars further. So that's what he says. If somebody is asking you to hate your brothers and sisters, that is nothing but, the act is nothing but, you are moving away, you are taking away yourself from your sisters and brothers, you are moving away, you are cheating yourselves, and you are disapproving your own humanity. And remember, we who take arms against each other, then we who in the sense whenever there are wars, like everybody, when they enter into the war field, everybody is seen having the weapons in their hand. So when each one of us, like if at all you see Mahabharata, why did Bhagavad Gita took place, like it has taken place? Anybody has any idea? Because Arjuna at one point of time, when he reaches the saturation point by looking at all his own kinship people, all his cousins around, and he had to shoot an arrow to somebody, at least one of them definitely, each one of the moments, then he will have a, thinking of, why am I standing at this position where I need to shoot an arrow to one of my own beloved family member? What is that? What for am I in the war field? Why do I need to do it? Because they are all my brothers and sisters. Of course, they are all my brothers, cousins, of course. Then that's how the Lord Krishna gives him the preaching of Bhagavad Gita. Because the people of Kauravas, yes, they were all wrong. They belong to the wrong category and they were being done. And this is a Hindu myth. So similarly here he says that when there is a war taking place and each one of them will take out their weapons to kill each other, what would happen? Let's see in the next. It is in the human earth that we defile. Then when everybody standing in the war, if they start taking the weapons and when they start using the weapons, what would they do? Of course, they start killing each other, shedding the blood. They bleed. So you will see once the war scene, if at all you try to visualize, children, you might have seen recently in Bahubali, the war scenes, they are so dreadful. As soon as the war is done of one day, you will see heap of dead bodies here and there. There is blood here and there, everything. Then what the human being is ultimately doing, the human being is causing a lot of inconvenience and discomfort to the earth, the goddess earth. You are causing a lot of discomfort to Bhumata, who is having a lot of patience, but we are going on testing her patience because we are causing defile. Defile is nothing but we are making the earth dirty because Bhumata is considered to be so pure, isn't it, children? But what, like with our wrong acts, what are we doing? We are doing all the wrong things where the earth is being impurified. Because as the people are killing each other, you will see the dead bodies around and the blood here and there, shedding blood here and there. It's nothing but we are making our own earth dirty. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence. Outrage is nothing but, children, violate the purity of, outrage is bursting out in anger. So why are these wars happening? Because one is angry with somebody, right? Then the war takes place. So each one of the sides of war, they would kill the other side, right? So everybody kills each other. So as the hells of fire, because you will see fire here and there. And ultimately what is the consequence? It is nothing but the ones who are taking part in the war, as they are bursting out their own anger on what? The innocence. So whenever you see children, like recent aircraft crash in Pakistan also, as it was carrying more than 100 passengers, but it got crashed on the residential area. So not only the people who were traveling, taking on board of a flight, but also the people who were innocently in their own respective houses also were being killed. So innocence. So whereas here in the war also, when the war goes on and they kill each other, many innocent lives also will be lost. So one's anger would definitely result into the loss of innocent creatures around. Then of air that is everywhere our own, remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. So they say that it's not only that we are causing the impurity to the earth as making dirty, the earth is being made dirty, not only that, but also the air, the environment around us, the atmosphere around also, as there is fire everywhere, as the smoke is emitted out, even that is being impurified. So the poison is spreading with the help of the air only due to the feeling of hatred and anger. So if one is relieved from this hatred and anger, then you will see only love around and no question of killing each other. Because when we consider children that we are all the children of the supernatural power, that is God or Bhumata, whatever you call it as, then would Bhumata be feeling happy seeing her own children fighting and killing each other? Definitely not. Similarly, if the supernatural power, if you call it as a God also, seeing his own children fighting among and killing among themselves, making the whole of the earth dirty, spreading all the dead bodies around, bleeding, shedding blood, and causing a lot of fire, and the smoke around, spreading poison around, would the God be happy? Definitely not. We are all cursed for that act. Then, knowing all these things, why one does this? So simple logical question, James Kirab says. Then when we know all these things, then he is concluding with the line saying that, remember, no men are foreign and no countries are staying. So if at all you see children here, the first sentence he said that men are not strange, countries are not foreign. And here he said that men are not foreign, countries are not staying. In the sense, unknown or unfamiliar is. So no country, no land. Piece of land is same thing. Take a loaf of bread, children, and you just make them as slices. Then each one of the slices is made, parted only from the loaf. Am I right, children? Then how can you call it as this bread is of that and that bread slice is of that? This is America, that is Canada, this is India, that is South Africa, this is Afghanistan. Why are all these things? Because the whole is like a bread loaf, it is earth. Similarly, we are all human beings. So, no men are foreign and no country is strange. I believe all of you have understood this. And if at all you see, one of the poetic devices beautifully used is metaphor. Children, please make a note of it. Another poetic device is metaphor. Along with alliteration and enjambment, there is another poetic device, metaphor. And how for metaphor is used? Here you see in the second line, uniform. The word uniform is nothing but it is uniform of what? Military uniform. They just said that soldier. It does mean that soldier. It is reflecting as soldier. And next one is wartime is compared with winter. Wartime, because wherever there is a war, there is shortage of food and people die with starving, right? So war and winter is compared. So that is also another metaphor. So questions, children, beneath all uniforms, what uniforms do you think? Just now I just have given the answer. That is soldier's uniform. You please write it in an elaborated way. How does the poet suggest that all people on earth are same? Earth are same. How are we concluding that we are all one? Because we are all blessed with the natural resources. Then again our body parts are same. That you will need to write it in an elaborated way. Then second question is the same thing, like how are we blessed? How many common features can you find? It is the same thing. About you will definitely add on both, like the natural resources and also the human mechanism, human body mechanism. Then fourth one is, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, when do you think this happens? Why? Who tells us? Should we do as we are told? It's sometimes. What does the poet say? This question is a opinionated question, and this is called as a value based question. So I want you all to answer this question also separately, because it's an opinionated question, as I've already given you the illustration and example also. So we are done, children. So Socrates said, I am a citizen not of Athens or Greece but of the world. This is nothing but the same thing, that we are all one. So though we belong to different people, having different skin complexion, like having been divided as different races and regions, but we are all finally one. So let us not have any discriminations based on all these physical things. Let us all be united. Let us all hope for the serenity among us, having peaceful world where we can happily live our life, treating everybody as our brothers and sisters. So that's nothing but about the brotherlyhoodness, having peaceful mentality, spreading love around. I believe all of you might have understood. So please do attend all the questions of the worksheet what I served you. Any queries? When we meet next time, once the school reopens, please ask me. So this is Vijaya signing off. Stay safe.